Aries, the useful kind of care today isn't soft because you're weak. It's precise because pressure is real. You have two roads. Leave the body's rhythm vague and let tension ease for a moment. Or shape the pressure point before it shapes you. With Mars active, identity, body, and presence need a move, not noise. One clean step matters more than an outburst. It's the small gesture that doesn't perform, but gives you your footing back. The gentle choice today isn't escape. The body's rhythm gives you back clarity before pressure chooses for you. If you recover first, you choose better after. Today, the pause is part of the strategy. For Aries, strength is stopping before impulse chooses in your place. Untended fatigue doesn't disappear. It turns into mood, decisions, and the wrong response. Move. Choose one concrete form of care, not a promise to recover later. Save it for the moment you're tempted to call recovery weakness. Taurus. Today, the opening doesn't arrive shouting. It comes through a choice you need to make before it loses force. In front of you are two doors. One saves you from discomfort now, the other forces that point into a decision. Sun trine moon. Around words, exchanges, and the immediate environment, there's no need to dramatize, only to stop lying to the scene. This is not an opportunity that sells itself as a miracle. It looks like work, choice, precision. The real opening doesn't make a show. The signal inside a choice you need to make before it loses force has to be recognized while it's still small. Today's opportunity is not comfortable, and that's exactly how it measures what you really want. For Taurus, calm turns into a trap when staying still costs more than choosing. The risk is waiting for a more comfortable signal and realizing the real one was already clear enough. Move. Answer the opening with one small act, not one big theory. Save it for the moment fear tries to pass itself off as common sense. Gemini. The love signal today isn't sweet. It's precise and maybe uncomfortable. In front of you are two doors. One keeps discomfort away for now, the other forces that point into a choice. Mars heats up identity, body, and presence. If you react just to discharge, you miss the point. This is the point where someone excites you, but the sky asks you not to hand them the whole wheel. An affectionate signal matters only if a presence that asks for measure doesn't ask you to betray your center. Today, a small truth is worth more than an intense gesture that will need explaining tomorrow. For Gemini, understanding everything isn't enough if a presence that asks for measure still gets no choice. If the living part likes you up but shrinks you, the bill arrives as a dent in your dignity. Move. Strip the seduction out of the sentence and leave the true one, even if it's shorter. Send it to the person who has to choose between play and truth today. Cancer. Today, the price isn't just financial. It's how much room you let others have in deciding for you. It's the emotional estimate of the day. Who pays, how much, and with what margin. Don't widen the scene too much. One person, one phrase, one gesture, and a promise that needs measure becomes legible. Mars puts pressure on intimacy, shared resources, and transformation. Use it to decide, not to force the scene. Material questions today are also about power. A promise that needs measure shows who decides the value of your presence. For Cancer, protecting everyone gets expensive when you lose your center at the point that matters. If you leave the cost vague, tomorrow you may have to defend a much larger boundary. The risk is paying not to seem difficult, then having to defend a much bigger boundary later. Move. Separate generosity from price, then decide what you can truly sustain. Save it before you say yes to a number you haven't really looked at. Leo. The breakthrough doesn't come when everything is clear. It comes when you stop circling it. This is a door that won't open with more analysis, only with one small, decisive choice. Don't widen the seam too much. One person, one phrase, one gesture. and a door that won't open on its own becomes readable. Saturn makes the themes of vision, travel, and broad learning serious. What holds, stays. What performs, gets exposed. The right movement doesn't solve everything, but it opens the point habit has been keeping closed. For Leo, pride only works if it leaves room for the real decision. The point is getting out of the mental loop. If nothing moves, the block stays respectable. If you don't touch a door that won't open on its own, the day passes and the problem keeps its throne. Move. Close one door, send one reply, shift one commitment. Just one thing, but real. Save it before you delay the gesture you already know is necessary.
Virgo. Today, the price isn't just financial. It's how much room you let others have in deciding for you. In front of you are two doors. One keeps discomfort away for now, the other forces that point into a choice. Mars heats up daily work, method, and health. If you react just to discharge, you miss the point. It's the emotional estimate of the day. Who pays, how much, and with what margin? Money is only part of it. A margin someone is using also shows how much room you've been allowing without agreement. The point is not to let discomfort decide the price for you. For Virgo, detail only helps if it doesn't become a way to delay a margin someone is using. If that margin stays vague under a polite tone, the price gets set by whoever insists longer. Move. Ask for the missing detail before yes turns into a tax. Save it before discomfort sets the price for you. Libra. Don't confuse attraction with an answer. Today, the heart wants cleaner proof. It's a chat, a look, a pause, and you realize whether you want contact or just confirmation. Don't widen the scene too much. One person, one phrase, one gesture, and a game that stops being light becomes readable. Mars puts pressure on desire, creativity, and pleasure. Use it to decide, not to force the scene. Today, desire becomes readable in the way a game that stops being light either respects or consumes your boundary. For Libra, useful peace doesn't leave the emotional scene vague. A clean bond doesn't need you to betray your boundary just to seem soft. If you chase confirmation, the heart feels alive, but the choice gets smaller. Move. Ask one direct question and watch whether the answer stays present. Save it for the moment your heart wants to run and dignity asks for measure.
Scorpio. Today, the price isn't just financial. It's how much room you let others have in deciding for you. The signal doesn't shout. You can see it in the way a promise that needs measure changes your posture, tone, or pace. Saturn makes daily work, method, and health serious. What holds, stays. What performs, gets exposed. It's an unspoken number, a favor that keeps growing, a stretch of time someone already considers available. Material reality today is also about power. A promise that needs measure shows who decides the value of your presence. For Scorpio, strength is not confusing control with truth. Value doesn't become cold when you name it. It finally becomes shareable. Kindness loses value when it only serves to avoid a number, a time, or a boundary. Move, write down the number, the time, and the boundary. Confirm only what stays clean. Come back here before you start treating your time like a coin with no price.
Sagittarius. Today, the opening doesn't arrive shouting. It comes through a choice you need to make before it loses force. In front of you are two doors. One keeps discomfort away for now. The other forces that point into a choice. Mars heats up words, exchanges, and the immediate environment. If you react just to discharge, you miss the point. This is an opportunity that doesn't sell itself as a miracle. It looks like work, choice, precision. If you wait for guarantees, a choice you need to make before it loses force turns into noise. If you act with measure, it becomes direction. The point is not to win immediately. It's to not let a door pass
that won't stay open later. For Sagittarius, freedom today comes from giving measure to the right point. The cost is small but real, missing the useful moment while asking life to be more obvious. Move. Answer the opening with one small act, not one big theory. Save it before you let a door pass just because it doesn't make noise.
Capricorn, the uncomfortable truth isn't here to hurt you. It's here because the alibi is used up. The signal doesn't shout. You can see it in the way a piece that costs too much changes your posture, tone, or pace. Saturn makes home, roots, and emotional base serious. What holds, stays. What performs, gets exposed. It's the point where you realize you're not cold, you're just avoiding being touched. A dirty point doesn't become clean because you explain it well. A piece that costs too much wants a truer sentence. For Capricorn, holding everything together isn't enough if that point is taking over. The useful truth today doesn't humiliate, it simplifies what you had made complicated. The part that controls everything can win the scene and lose the truth. Move, write the sentence you've been avoiding, then cut the sharp edge and keep the true part. Come back here when an excuse starts sounding like common sense again. Aquarius. The still part of the day wants one thing: a clean cut. This is the scene where you realize the block needs less thinking and more movement. Don't widen the scene too much. One person, one phrase, one gesture, and a door that won't open on its own becomes readable. Mars puts pressure on identity, body, and presence. Use it to decide, not to force the scene. As long as you keep watching, a door that won't open on its own looks bigger. The moment you choose the first step, it loses power. For Aquarius, seeing farther doesn't help if the fixed point never becomes a concrete choice. The risk isn't ruining everything. It's staying elegant inside a stuck situation. If that block keeps waiting, tomorrow it will take more force to do the same thing. Move. Close one door. Send one reply. Shift one commitment. Just one thing, but real. Tomorrow will reward the clean cut, not the elegant explanation. Pisces. The useful possibility today doesn't flatter you. It puts a choice in front of you. The first path is to avoid naming one practical step that can weigh on you and hope it passes. The second is to look at the point now while it's still manageable. Neptune opens sensitivity around resources, money, and value. Beautiful. But today, it has to become something verifiable. This is not an opportunity that sells itself as a miracle. It looks like work, choice, precision. The useful opening today has a concrete shape. One practical step that can weigh on you asks for presence, not fantasy. Today's opportunity is not comfortable, and that's exactly how it measures what you really want. For Pisces, feeling everything is power only if the real possibility doesn't stay in the fog. If the useful signal stays suspended, tomorrow you may call it chance when today it was choice. Move. Choose one verifiable step and do it before your mind opens too many exits. Carry it with you through the next few hours before the opening starts to feel normal.